Hey everyone, Scott here. Sorry I'm late to discuss Saw 6, starring Tobin Bell, Costas Mandylor, Betsy Russell, Mark Rolston, Peter Gutterberg, and Shawnee Smith, and directed by Kevin Grutert. Now, I remember this movie coming out, and I heard it was jumping the shark right after I saw it. What did I think of it? Well, let's get into it. We open with the guy, Eddie, and an African-American woman who won some live TV show game, I can't remember the name of, tearing up some flesh. Eddie from his stomach, and the TV actress uses her arm as her flesh, and she wins the fucking game, and I felt like I don't think I can win in that situation because it hurts like a motherfucker. I just can't believe how stupid that scene was because they lose bits and pieces of their fucking body. Like, what a lose-lose situation, in my opinion. After we get the title of the movie on the screen showing us the title, we see Agent Strom getting ripped apart at the end of Part 5, and the only thing remaining is Strom's hand, and we don't find out until later in the film. And I thought, how fucking convenient, because there's no way in hell that hand would survive after that scene. A man named William Easton, I think it's his name, yeah, Easton, is introduced as our protagonist, and is a man who I feel rejects people's health insurances, like another man who has cancer and has a wife and son. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't like this fucking character at all, because he's the worst protagonist ever. Hell, he even turned down John Kramer's health insurance, and John Kramer is played by Tobin Bell. Lindsay Perez, who was in Saw 4, and I thought was dead, like, when we first see her, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And that was a non-death? I thought was complete fucking bullshit in my mind. Costas Mandylor has a menacing face, but unfortunately isn't enough for me to like the character whatsoever. I'm glad we find out later in the film that Hoffman wrote to Amanda, played by Shawnee Smith, barely, from Saw 3, says because there was finally saying because that was satisfying. Not. And let me just rephrase what I mean by that. He writes a note about killing Dr. Lynn from Saw 3. And that's why she did what she had to do at the end of Saw 3 at this point, was because of Hoffman blackmailing her. Pamela Jenkins, who we saw in Saw 5 at the beginning of that movie, at Hoffman's promotion, is the biggest pain in the ass in this movie, and I'm not happy with the fact that she's William's sister. Like, how fucking convenient. And again, it's bullshit. And we find out what's in the box that John left his wife Jill tucked, and that is 6 envelopes for John's will, starting with William and his co-workers, and that's 5 envelopes. But the 6th one, is Hoffman's test, spoiler alert, from John's will. And couldn't they have said that at the end of Saw 5 so we can get set up for another movie? Like, we just find out now? That don't make no fucking sense. Well, maybe there is a reason behind it. It's because they want it to be a mystery. I don't know. Maybe I'm just helping out the film a little bit. William has 60 minutes to complete the test that John put him through, and I thought that's the plot with an unlikable protagonist in this franchise. Like, really? Why? Make the fucking movie about someone else, for fuck's sakes. William's first test is between him and the janitor to hold their breath for the longest time. That's not a good challenge. And it's, again, another lose-lose situation, Jigsaw. Also, he has to take off the bracelet on his arm that Jigsaw put on him. Again, not a good challenge. William's second test is between his secretary, or who has a family, or his clerk who doesn't, both working for him. Having William to hang on to their lives and lets his and lets his clerk go dead by hanging, and that test was a good way for William to find out about who has a family and is a loner. And I did like that moment in the film, to be clear. Seriously, I didn't mind it. Jill is delivering a package to God knows who because the vacuum is so goddamn loud that I can't even hear a fucking word Jill or the janitor are saying. I felt I wanted to hear what the fuck they're saying. That was a bad mystery. And I think they might reveal that next movie. I forget. William's third test with his lawyer, Debbie, and not was a no-K test when they both burned their skin because of the steam going on with them. When Debbie tries to get the key out of William's stomach and they fight, and I love that fight, to be honest with you. It's so comedic that I busted up laughing when Debbie kicks William in the damn nuts. That was fucking awesome, because I don't like that character, like I said. William's fourth test is a group of 6 people that goes around in circles and lets 4 people die, 3 men and 1 woman, and only lets 2 women live because one has a family and the other is a blue-shirted woman with blonde hair, and I felt he should have not saved the woman with the blue shirt. You should have made it on a female. You should have made it 1 female, 1 male, kind of a thing. One way it's easy. William, I still don't like you and what you're doing, and you're doing nothing to impress me at all. The FBI finds out Hoffman is the Jigsaw killer after John Kramer dead for I forget how long, and kills Erickson, Perez, and the woman who found out it was Hoffman by something. The voice on the video from the Seth Baxter from Saw tape from Saw 5. And the FBI is stupid enough to let Hoffman going free. Why? Or wait, they're dead. Worst police force ever. We find out that William wins with only 1 second left, and he finds out the wife and son from the cancer guy earlier in the film was William's sister Pamela, and it turns out that son of the cancer man is Roderick, and that's the guy that I reviewed, Roderick, from the first 3 Diary of a Wimpy Kid films earlier this year. And it was nice to see him again working some more after Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And Jill puts Hoffman in the trap, John putting Amanda from Saw 1. But this time Hoffman breaks free and the test sort of rips his mouth open. And what else happens? And William dies from the son switching the Roderick character, let me say, to his death, and those mixed together were just terrible. What was also terrible was Jill having John's final will of killing of Hoffman. Just the worst in my mind. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. This is the Saw movie that jumped the shark in the series, and we've got 2 more to go. But there were a few things I liked, but it's not enough for me to like the movie. But we'll see if 7 or the new movie does better, for my opinion, than these 6 movies. And I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for Saw 6, and I'll be back next week with Saw 7, the final chapter, 3D. Call it whatever you will. And until next time, live or die, make your choice.